Hey, Miss Byla, Dave Menzies, how you doing?
Sorry.
You're closely aligned
We're
to
going inside.
John
Thank
Tory.
you so
Oh,
much for
I
your
know, I'll
help.
walk and talk. What do you think of the hypocrisy that John Tory shut down the city so much during COVID, and all the while he was chasing subordinate staffers around the office?
The way in which these debates have been constructed are such that they leave people like myself, who have the ability to debate and hold them accountable, out of the debates. I would ask the hard questions. Why did, Josh Matlow, Anthony Peruzza, Brad Bradford, and Anna Bilow, why did they vote to spend $21 million to change the name of Dundas Street and 59 other streets when the city is $1 billion in the hole?
David Menzies for Rebel News here in downtown Toronto. And folks, it's another mayoral debate. But guess what? As per usual, 6 candidates are getting in and 96 are not. And one of the 96 who are not getting into the debate today is Rob Davis. And I guess you've heard the saying, let's take it outside. Well, that's exactly what Mr. Davis has done. He has set up a podium on the sidewalk in front of the debate venue, and he's able and willing to debate anyone that comes along. And Rob, I got to tell you, I mean, obviously we can't have a debate with 102 candidates on the stage. It's just not feasible. But I would imagine if we had to go by a benchmark, it would be those who have either run for office or held office. You were a school board trustee, you were a councillor,
Yep.
and yet you're getting the bum's rush.
Yep.
Why? What is the criteria that the same 6 or 8 people are always getting to go on the stage?
Well, I'll leave people to draw their own conclusions. Look, I am a master debater. I've done live television debates for campaigns before. I've debated David Miller, Olivia Chow live on television, and I have a sense that what they've done is manipulated the polls to make sure that my name was excluded from the top list. I know all of the things that these people have done wrong. I would be on that stage questioning them about their financial malfeasance. I'd be there questioning them about their lack of concern for public safety. I would be asking the tough questions, and they don't want a black conservative asking a tough question and tough questions of leftists who are on city council today.
I've heard the robocalls for the polls. There's no rhyme or reason to the list. For example, you would think, to be as fair as possible, it would be alphabetic order, but it's not. No. How do they, and that's a big thing when you're going through a list of 102 people. What is their criteria for asking the question in the first place?
Well, that's a big question that I would ask all the pollsters. But you know what? I get text messages from people in Brampton, Thornhill, Richmond Hill, Oakville, and Mississauga who are getting calls. They're saying, Rob, I just got a call, a poll. Your name isn't on it, but I live in Mississauga, or I live in Brampton, or my son is 16 years old and they called his cell phone.
Yeah.
Some people complain about the number of people running. Well, I think that's a measure of 2 things. Number one, the most, how should I put it? I would say running for office is the highest form of voter participation.
Yes.
And so the same people who are decrying that there are too many people running are going to be complaining that not enough people voted on election day. You can't have it both ways. You can't suck and blow, number one. Number two, the fact that there's 102 people running means that there's a tremendous amount of dissatisfaction with the direction that City Council has taken the city. 102 people don't wake up all of a sudden and say, damn it, I'm happy with the way things are going and therefore I'm going to run. They're angry and they know that the city is on the wrong track. So to me, it's not a negative. It's actually a positive thing that people are deciding to put their money on the line, their name on the line, and their time on the line to try to represent the city. The way in which these debates have been constructed are such that they leave people like myself, who have the ability to debate and hold them accountable, out of the debates. I would ask the hard questions. Why did, Josh Matlow, Anthony Peruzza, Brad Bradford, and Anna Bilow, why did they vote to spend $21 million to change the name of Dundas Street and 59 other streets when the city is $1 billion in the hole?
Well, Rob, good luck on your event tonight. We'll hang
Thank you.
around. We'll see
Yeah,
how it goes.
pleasure.
It's an hour to go before debate time, but maybe you'll have your own, I guess, sideshow event here outside the theater.
I'm not. I'm a lover, not a fighter, and I'm just hoping that I get an opportunity to show voters the love and to challenge my opponents to talk and answer questions.
Oh, hey, Miss Bylaw, Dave Menzies, how you doing? You're closely aligned to
we're going inside.
John
Thank
Tory.
you so
Oh,
much for
I know. I'll walk and talk. What do you think of the hypocrisy that John Tory shut down the city so much during COVID, and all the while he was chasing subordinate staffers around the office? We couldn't go to the park
What direction are we going, Jay?
during Cherry Blossom Festival, and yet Mr. Tory was doing horizontal jogging with Emily Hellstrom. Also, Miss Bylaw, you had a drunk driving conviction 10 years ago. Does that speak to your character? Last time we met, you had my arm in a vice grip. It was like Hulk Hogan.
If only that were so.
What is it like to be working for the most corrupt politician in Canada, Patrick Brown? I guess we'll never know. Well, Rob, you spent a solid hour outside campaigning.
Yes.
I saw you talking to dozens and dozens of people. What kind of feedback were you getting?
Tremendous. Actually, people were very excited to meet a candidate running for mayor. Many of them were disappointed that I wasn't included in the debate.
Yes.
A few people recognized me. The special constables guarding the event says, "Hey, aren't you Rob Davis?" So, look, I've done a lot of things in my career politically. People recognize some of that work, but they also acknowledge that I should be on the debate stage, not locked out, because they know that if I'm locked out, it means they're locked out.
Well, one thing's for certain, Rob. I know you'd rather be inside rather than outside. There are still more debates to be
Yes.
had. Is there any hope you can be included in some of those?
Well, I'm hoping, but if not, then maybe we have to do something more drastic. Maybe seek injunctive relief. Ask the courts to say, like, wait a second, this isn't fair pool. The mainstream media are locking out a whole bunch of folks who should be included. And who are they to deign that there are only 6 people worthy of being exposed to members of the public or debating the issues? I might not win, but it doesn't mean that the ideas that I present shouldn't be considered by all of the candidates, because that's the thing about politics. Politics is the art of the possible. A candidate hears a good idea, adopts it, borrows it, steals it. If they get elected, they use it. And it's only good for democracy.
There you go. Well, good luck, Rob. And like I said before, folks, I think one of the benchmarks for who gets on stage is those who have attained public office. And I think that's only fair. But it seems that the elites behind the scene, yet again, when it comes to who is on the debate stage and who is shut out, well, it's business as usual in Hogtown, isn't it? For Rebel News, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Folks, I know you count on Rebel News to bring you the other side of the story you are not going to get from your taxpayer-funded mainstream media. But that's the thing, we need your support. Please go to rebelfieldreports.com. That's rebelfieldreports.com. And if you can make a financial donation, no matter how small, that would be greatly appreciated.